Hey, good day to my YouTube fam and my Facebook fam. Good day to you one and all. I'm on the road, yeah. I'm on my way taking some burger to my daughter. Yeah, you know her mother's call. No, she hungry. She can't move from her desk, so she asked me to buy her a burger and bring home. So I'm on my way there. So and I was going through my videos that I did already, and one of the videos that I did, the one that I was talking about the molestations, the signs of the molestations and so forth, you know, I come across a point that I was talking about my kid's father and some of the stuff that I went through, and I decided that I wanted to do this video. But I mostly want to point out the part that I want to point out in doing this video was the part that after I had my encounter with all of that, then you know, I entered into a relationship. But the relationship that I entered in before my kid's father, this was at a very tender age, and I was in that relationship with a man that was older than me. Henceforth, as a result, yes, I'm here with my boo, my pie, my cherry, my chocolate chip. Yes, that's my baby. Jamaicans would say wash belly. That's my wash belly. By the way, guys, I did my hair myself. So state in the comments, how does it look, if it look nice, you know, whatever. That's a comment. Remember to go over to YouTube. It's Righteous King. Like, share, leave a comment. Alright, so back to what I was saying. So, you know, yes, I ventured into a relationship, an unhealthy relationship at a very tender age, which I had mentioned about, you know, after going into girls' home and, you know, all the runaway and all of those stuffs, and how it impacted my life and it made the situation worse. So I ventured into an unhealthy relationship, which, while in that relationship, I faced abused, because as I said, this man was older than me, and so I faced abused, and you know, I was dealt with in a very bad way. You know, I didn't feel loved. I felt less than, and even in the first place of me entering into this relationship, that was one of the reasons why I entered into it, because I felt less than. And so as a result of that, while I was in this relationship, I was being abused both verbally and physically, right? And so guys, I ventured into this relationship. Was very unhealthy. It was abusive. I was being abused verbally and physically, and you know, because I did not see myself as being worthy. I looked down on myself. I did not know my self-worth. I did not value myself at this point. You know, all of that. As I said before in my video before, you know, we tend to feel less than, and because we feel less than, anything goes. So even when we're in a relationship and that relationship is not a quality relationship, we don't know the difference, because this is what it does to you. It brings you at a place where you cannot even differentiate the difference between real love and being abused. And so I was abused in this relationship with this person, and you know, it got so intense. I remember at one point, you know, out of fear. He was abusing me physically, and I remember I had a knife. And I stabbed him on the hand, because he was physically abusing me, and so I had to defend myself. But cowardly defending myself, I just did it. I just gave him a stab, and that stab was very severe. And even after that, I still did not leave the relationship. I still continued in this relationship. It got to a point so bad that even my family got involved. And it was just the utmost disrespect and all of that, because he was very disrespectful. He was disrespectful to me. He was disrespectful to my mom, my brother, my uncle. He was very disrespectful, and I believe at one point that he was even obsessed, and so, guys, these are some of the things that I went through during my earlier years, my tender years of venturing in relationship, looking for love, trying to find solace and peace because of what was happening or what had happened to me earlier. And so I did a lot of stuff, and I made a lot of bad choices. And so after the fact that me and this young man was in this relationship, it ended very badly, very, very bad. It ended in a case where he died, and the way that he died, it was terrible. It was dark and gloom, and I will leave that for another time. But after being in this relationship with this man and going through all of that, I ended up, after it ended and everything, I was there for a little time until I found myself in another relationship. Because, guys, as I said, this is what it makes you do. It makes you enter into different relationships looking for love. And so this other relationship that I entered in, it wasn't a case where I loved the person or the person loved me. We were just sharing, our emotions and feelings. We were just acting out based on how we felt. And so after that relationship, I ended up, my kid's father, he was one of the person who was always seeking me out, always making much of me, and I would just shun him at times. I would shun him and so forth. But gradually, after a time, I find myself ended up with him. And so after we ended up together, about a year after, about 8 months after. Yes, guys, so I ended up with my children's father, and after we were, guys, I turned into Devon House and parked so I can dive into the story more calmer, and so you guys can hear me more clearer. Yes, after all of that, I went into the relationship with my kid's father. After ending that relationship, I entered into the relationship with my kid's father. Now, after we dated for at least 8 months or so, I ended up get pregnant. And after I got pregnant, we were there together, and while we were together, things were not so smooth. We had our ups and downs. We had our ins and outs. After getting pregnant, we break up at 5 months of pregnancy. We break up. We pull apart, and it was a case where he ended up in a relationship, and I was there pregnant with my big daughter and so forth. And guys, even the relationship with my kid's father was, it was very rough. Thank you, Shamaya. It was very rough. We had rough days, patches, rough times, and it was a back and forth situation at one point, till after a while we ended up back together for a very good time, and we ended up having 2 more kids. We had a son and a daughter, which I just show you my last daughter and so forth. And guys, even being in the relationship with my kid's father, it was very rough. It was, I remember there were days where I would just get up and I was in a mood, and it never had to be a case where we had anything. I was this emotional person. I was this person where I was not steady. I was unstable in my mind. I was, distraught. And so he did not know all these times what was happening to me. And as a result of that, a lot of times we got into argument, and we didn't know why we were in any argument. We didn't know why a lot of the stuff that happened. But guys, I tell you this much: after coming out of that relationship, after the relationship with myself and my kid's father, because after I gotten saved, and then life took another turn, and that is for another time, because I can't make this video as long as I would really want it, because it would go over the time. But guys, it was you can't play the music now. It was very, very rough. Many a time, certain apart from the fact that relationships has their ups and their downs, I know that the things that I have been through, it had a lot to do with us not agreeing. It had a lot to do with us not, living more peaceful and agreeing to stuff and coming together as one. My baby there help me out, but I realized, as I said, after being in the relationship and everything, I got saved. I become a Christian at the age 32. I become a Christian, and I was a Christian, and then we were living in the same household, and because we were already in a relationship, and we had three children, we decided that we were gonna get married. And things got rough. Things got really rough. Life took a turn downhill. Everything started, a lot of stuff started happening and so forth. And that is when I realized that there was something other than just us not agreeing. There is something other than just us having our disagreement. And so one thing led to another. We did not continue in the relationship, but then I will give you guys an update on that one another time. So for now, I'm going to pause this video, and another time I will give you a rundown. Alright guys, so remember, go over to my page, subscribe, like and share, leave a comment. I want to speak more on this topic, but it is very long, and so I have to do it in part. So love you guys.